Hi, my name is Joe Appelbaum, CEO of CalmHR, a unique type of HR and benefits partner. And today we're talking to Tammy Klein, who has an HR outsourcing and consultative practice in South Florida. Tammy, welcome. Can you give our listening audience a brief introduction as to who you are and what you do?
Hi, Joe, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity today to speak with you. My name is Tammy Klein, and I'm the owner of Klein HR Solutions located here in South Florida. And after about 30 years of experience in human resources in corporate America, I realized that I can have an impact providing operational and strategic consultative services for companies of all sizes. I recognize that there is extraordinary human capital challenge and opportunities confronting companies, which really led me to launch my business in 2018.
Fantastic. The last time we had lunch, you told me a story about a prospective client. It was a bit of the right seat on the bus type of dialogue. Why don't you tell our listeners what you told me?
Sure, absolutely. So I was referred, Joe, to a company that had about 100 or so employees. Employment lawyer here in town asked me to meet with a business owner, and this particular owner was very transparent and very upfront with me in our discussion. And we started talking about the makeup of his workforce. And this was not a startup organization. This was a company I think had been around for about 10 or 12 years. In speaking with the owner, we ended up getting into his organizational breakdown of his company, talking about who does what and who's who. And this is a family-owned business. So as you can imagine, very tied up in personal relationships. And as we continued on, I started learning more, and what I sensed was frustration from the owner when we were discussing certain employees, their positions, what they were doing, and how they were doing their roles. So I felt like this was a great opportunity for me to do what I will call HR diagnostics, whereby from an objective point of view, I can sit down and understand from looking at their organization who's sitting on the bus, what seat, what they're doing, and ultimately how they can help achieve the goals of the owner and their organization.
So you said that the owner was frustrated. Can you pinpoint a little bit more about why that owner was frustrated?
Sure. So the owner's frustration was really coming from one particular person, who we call the chief of staff. But he really didn't know if this person was the right person and how he was delivering upon the responsibilities that he had. So I started to inquire about job descriptions and if the employees sort of understood what their expectations and what their roles and responsibilities were. And to say that the job descriptions and the expectations were a little loose is probably an understatement. So this owner was frustrated not only with the delivery, but if you can imagine, because it was a family-owned business, had some conflicts due to maybe a tenured relationship that he had with this one particular person. And then we started having, Joe, a dialogue about how he can maybe retool this person and this employee, maybe give him some exposure to other leaders, some additional training, make him more self-aware of some of the inabilities that he may have had and displayed during the day-to-day, and see if maybe he can perform in a more outstanding way for the organization.
So it's interesting, a tenured employee, trusted employee, right hand, so to speak, and yet that individual still needs potential retooling. Is this something you've seen before where that reliance on that individual is delivering actual frustration more than accolades and success?
Now, I've seen it both ways. I've seen companies with employees that really complement one another and are dedicated, loyal, and committed to really delivering in an outstanding way. And then unfortunately, I've seen a lot of companies who keep people because they really have a tough time confronting the employee, especially if they have these tenured relationships. For the most part, I think in this organization, there were great people who wanted to do great things for the organization and for the people that they worked with. But it was also just trying to understand how the person was performing in their role and trying to just do what's best for the team and the organization. And I was really having the dialogue and discussion to make this owner be more aware, because I think a lot of times owners feel stuck with their team and are afraid to make a change or even think about, the retooling of a particular person on the team.
Thank you, Tammy. We've been talking with Tammy Klein, owner of Klein HR Solutions in South Florida. Stay tuned for another recording and interview on another issue that plagued another owner.